Hey people, Jl3 here, 2v2, Medean Cliff Mines, blue team. Very chaotic blue team. First up is Iron Warrior as a Plague Champion, starts off range combat with the damage of a Time Bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. Alongside is Dandalus as a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive commander, walks through objects and cannot be suppressed on very good offense and disruption, fights mainly in melee combat. This is the Word Bearers DLC from Relic. Red team, I believe this is meant to be JB as a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling commander with great mobility, some decent offense and support as well. Begins in range combat but can get melee weapons. This is one of those elite schemes for the Tyranids with that funky horn on the Ravener Alpha. It might be recolored too, I'm not sure what it's called. And alongside is Ven as a Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Lots of great buffs with some debuffs and controlled abilities too. Classic Medean then. We have a natural VP for red team at the top, natural for blue in the south, and a contested VP mid. Looks like Chaos are swarming the area of 3 Heritage squads between them and a couple of Chaos Space Marines. JB backing off, does get his Spore Mines up, which are pretty damn useful versus Chaos early on, because Heretics really don't like those things. Maybe slightly less so against the Chaos Lord, since he can run in and start smacking them with his sword and not get too bothered by the damage or the suppression, of course. Ravener Alpha coming south to decap this VP, maybe cap it. Meanwhile, Ven is bashing power, flanking around, might catch some things on retreat, but here comes Dandalus, and if Ven's not careful, he'll get caught on retreat, where he is backing away towards the north, trying to split those players. Are they going to double against Ven here? Iron Warrior is sending Heretics over. Is he splitting? He might just turn around. There's some Horn Worship boosting the speed of Dandalus' units. And here comes the engagement. Ven outnumbered here. 3 units to 2. Shuriken Cannon on the way, but I don't think it's going to come out in time for this engagement. Banshees, I think, trying to get close to the Chaos Space Marines there, but they got shot down and then Doom Blasted. Dandalus is chaining together his Horn Worship pretty nicely and forces Ven back. Is he going to get one of those Dire Avengers? Nope. He's going to use Horn Worship again to try and cap. Here's that Shuriken. Might see double Shurikens from Ven, or maybe some Rangers once he sees these Noise Marines that are on the way. Rangers, really good choices as Noise Marines. Noise Marines are generally short range, so you can pick them off and disrupt them from outside their firing range. But I think you maybe want double Rangers for that to pick off models quickly. And double Shurikens would allow you to keep that Chaos Lord at bay a little bit better, since you can get the Dark Halo up and Horn Worship and deal with the single Shuriken reasonably well. This firing arc is not going to catch those Heretics sneaking through, as you can see there with Horn Worship. There's a kill the week on the Howling Banshees, nicely hit with a Chaos Lord, and a little bit of trouble there. Howling Banshee is generally very good versus low level commanders with all that power melee damage. Here come the Noise Marines, going straight after that Shuriken, trying to shut it down. The grenade misses, almost lost his Dire Avengers completely there then. Heretics in amongst those Banshees, catching him on retreat, but he does not force combat in melee with his Chaos Space Marine, so those Banshees get away with 4 models. Maybe he shouldn't have let that happen. Here comes JB to the north, has a Ravener Brood up with 22 piercing DPS per model with these Devourers. They really do pack a punch, can catch players by surprise with the amount of damage they do. Noise Marines are going to get caught. There's Cacophony just trying to keep those Hormigauts. Are they going to at least lose 1 model? He should have forced melee combat with the Raveners. He might have got, yeah, he definitely, you would think, have got another model, maybe the last 2 if he forced melee combat there. Misplay. 472, 426. Look at this. Sneaky Ravener tunnel right in the south there. He might get his units stuck on things when he gets out of it. Meanwhile, Iron Warrior able to bash freely because JB was pulled north by the VP being decapped. But Ven now has aspect of the Avenger and aspect of strength on his Howling Banshees going after this no gen power node. And red team do have the mid. They're going to get the 2-to-1. Noise Marines now on the way from Iron Warrior. Look at this. Termagants decapping and now capping this very, very natural Rekpon. They are actually going to finish this cap Raptors on the field for Dandalus. Got a heavy tier 1 so far. Double Heretics and Noise Marines and Raptors, so we might not see him upgrading his Heretics. At the moment they're in their default state. Look at this. JB using the Ravener tunnel to get this power bash in. He's going to get both the gens at least, I think. Iron Warrior reacting slowly. Some Nurgle worship mid with his double CSM. Eternal War is up. Hormagaunts will now go and cap the VP. Iron Warrior still not reacting to this. Here he comes. And Blight Grenades are up for the Plague Champion. Can be very nasty early on against Tyranids. Somewhat fall off in their use come tier 2, but they are a very cheap piece of war gear. Once they start getting specialist synapse up with those health bonuses, not quite as deadly, but it's still doing work for you. Oh, Raptors getting caught, I think, trying to jump one of those shurikens. CSM now going to get suppressed, but they do retreat in time, and a full retreat out, in fact, from Dandalus. He still has Heretics in play. Taking out a tunnel will give them some XP and some red. Oh, he decapped the power. Now Iron Warrior has to retake it. Here comes the Raveners. And tier 2 for the red team. Look at this from Dandalus. Now getting some Havocs up. And blue team still don't have their natural reg point back. Really heavy tier 1 from Dandalus. With Noise Marines, Raptors, Double Heretics and Havocs. We'll keep those, or help keep those Banshees at bay. Then might need to avoid face-on confrontations then until he gets maybe some Wraith Guard or a Wraith Lord out. Wraith Guard could get jumped by the Raptors, but he does have Banshees there. Can also use the Gravity Blade from the Farseer to counter-initiate, of course. He needs to be careful though. Needs to wait a few seconds after the Raptors land, or they won't be lifted up by the levitation field, because they have that few seconds of knockback and lift immunity once they land, much like most of, or all of, the jump troops, I believe. 459383. Iron Warrior trying to bash power with his Noise Marines, who are shooting in a very strange direction, but they did hit all of those Hormagaunts, and now they are bashing power. And this is getting doubled here by the blue team. Ven needs to react, but his shurikens are pushed all the way up, covering this power. He might not want to move them. He should move one up to around this area, I think, and try and hit them on the flank that way. But he's bringing his Banshees in. They are going to get suppressed though. And now they're out of the firing arc of the Havocs, but here's a hell of a lot of stuff, including those very dangerous Blight Grenades. That is a tasty blob of Tyranids to throw that Blight Grenade on. I think he's going for it. There's the throw. Raptors jumping in. A good Blight Grenade throw. Wow. I think it does 65 damage on explosion, and then it's, I believe, 10 flame damage per second in the area, and then it infects stuff for 5 flame damage per second. So if you stand in it, it will absolutely wreck you, and even if you don't, it's doing 5 damage per second, and it will spread to allied units. JB, really bad engagement, had a Tyrant Guard up, but lost both of his Termagant Broods, as Hormagaunts have gone down along the way as well. Here is a Tyrant Guard though, with spikes all over it. Still has Raveners. Can he recover now? Yep, JB admonishing those Black Grenades in the chat. We have Guardian Weapon teams covering this power and the approach to it. Here comes Ven back to the middle. Plague Champion level 2 with those Black Grenades now. Tyrant Guard with 2,500 hit points of super heavy infantry armor, so really good resistance against piercing damage from those bolters. You need plasma or inferno or heavy melee damage or power melee damage to do damage there. Chaos Lord goes down in retreat, got too close to double shurikens, and now these Noise Marines are suppressed, and a special attack from the Farseer, going to get a model there. Explodes it, in fact. And Ven is keeping Dandalus locked down on this side. Has actually capped and is now noding this power here. JB doing the right thing, trying to avoid engagements now that he's behind. He's actually recovering with double Termagants, so he might see Venom Brood range synapses. He still has that Ravener Brood. That's a dead Havoc squad from the Howling Banshees. Iron Banshee is now leveled to 2. Plague Champion unable to revive the Chaos Lord. They're not capitalizing on all the losses JB took, are they? Iron Warrior unable to really push. Dandalus stuck almost in his base. Here's some heretics flanking around. Ven does notice just in time. Now some Khorne worship for some reason. Double Khorne worship on nothing in particular. I'm not sure what's going on there. 4-4-2, 3-1-2. Here comes that Tyrant Guard. Line break for the Tyranids. Can they slow this thing? Can they deal with it? Needs a synapse to really be frightening, since it's very slow, as you can see, without a synapse. And none of these creatures in JB's army are granting a synapse at the moment. I think he can get the synapse aura for damage on the Raven Alpha, and that will actually grant basic synapse. There's a noxious cloud. Ouch. The squad is just about getting away, and now this Tyrant Guard's in a little bit of trouble. Needs to back off, because that Plague Fist will do damage if he doesn't attack the Plague Champion, and he's not attacking him. Can he? Surely he can charge away here. Just come up towards the VP and charge away. There's a heavy bolter turret covering the power. Didn't even notice that. And the Tyrant Guard's going to go down here, I think. Yep, definitely. 4-4-1, 3-0-2. Down goes the Tyrant Guard. A sloppy loss there, I think. Should have charged it away as soon as he lost all those models. But easy to say in hindsight. Here comes some Plague Marines for Dandalus. Ven has a Wraith Lord. Walker vehicle for Eldar, can get shoulder mounted ranged weapons and has melee resistance in all of its forms. Very powerful Walker. 4-2-3, 3-0-2. Set to get a health decrease in the next update alongside a cost decrease. Plague Champion level 3 now with that Plague Fist, and that power is wiped out. Here come Venom Brood from JB. Has double Termagant's Ravener Brood and the Venom Brood with, I assume, ranged synapse once he gets the requisition for it. Raptors from Dandalus are south with their aspiring champion, Melter Pistol and Power Fist on that guy. He's pretty mean. Also has the Demonic Fury ability. Oh, there's the... Oh, look, you see, Ven did not wait a few seconds, so those Raptors were not lifted by the levitation field there. Noise Marines continuing to do some really nasty things to these Tyranid units in tier 2. Now the Wraith Lord, though, is wailing on all this chaos stuff, and there's nothing here at all, really, that can deal with it. The Plague Champion can get stuck in with his Plague Fist, but I won't do a whole lot against a melee resistance Walker. It's only 72 DPS heavy melee. Wraith Lord proving to be a pain in the arse. They still don't have their natural power back. Very strange game. Lots of losses from JB, but they haven't been able to capitalize on that at all, really. 3-7-1, 3-0-2. Red team still very much in this, and JB has time to recover now. Has his Venom Brood with Range Synapse. That's going to boost the I should say, boost the damage and health of his Ravener Brood and his Termagants. A Khorne Shrine spitting out bloodletters. The Chaos Lord is still down here. Shuriken's doing a really good job locking down this northern area. Blastmaster Noise Marines shooting aimlessly into the fog of war. 3-4-3, 3-0-2. Wraith Lord with shoulder mounted Shuriken cannon now. I think it's around 46 DPS piercing. It's a lot of piercing damage on that thing. 329, 302. There is the levitation field. I believe it does power melee damage when it throws you back after the lift. Plague Marines supported really well by Khorne Worshipper, and this is a dead Wraith Lord now. Ven should not have pushed it in here. Double Plague Marines and Blastmaster. Yeah, it's 2. But I think even if 2 did not come in, that still would have been a dead Wraith Lord with Khorne Worship. Plague Marines was a little bit of a sloppy push there from Ven. Got overexcited. I think he wanted to get that shrine out of the way. 3-1-6, 3-0-2. Plague Marines perform very well under suppression, much like the Plague Champion himself. There's the Pestilence Strike to cover his revival. I don't think he needed it. Armor of Pestilence is up, so he's very slow and tough, and might be able to get into position for those Blight Grenade throws. Heretics with Aspiring Champion for Iron Warrior, fighting the Ravener Alpha here, who does get away. Here are the Termagants. You see the rain synapse given those light green swirly synapse indicators on their models. Heretics do get away. Level 2. Iron Warrior needs to take it south again. JB's doing a good job keeping pressure up down there. Farseer now capping mid with that Gravity Blade. Almost level 3. Blue team have big armies, but Dandalus has really struggled to push the north really at all since tier 2 time. That power's locked down for ages as well. As you can see, red team well into tier 3 here. Then maybe some Seer Council. He might get a Fire Prism up, trying to keep it at full range away from those Plague Marines, or just stack up on D cannons on the mid. Chaos Lord has gone for the Blood Maul. Now getting Armored Inferno. Maybe should have gone for that a little bit earlier. Bloodletters attacking those Banshees, and that was a good hit from the Blastmaster on those Banshees, but they do get away with only one model loss. And now a big engagement mid. That's a Torrent of Formation on Iron Warrior's army. Hits them pretty nicely. I actually quite like the Torrent of Formation as a nuke. Really low delay for it to spawn disruption and damage. Not the most killy nuke, but the speed at which it spawns can really catch enemies off guard. You saw that Blight Grenade throw. Raptors chasing stuff away. There's some Levitation Field action from the Farseer in the background. A good nuke from JB, but doesn't stop the cap, because here's the Plague Champion decapping mid. Was going to say stop the cap with it, but he actually didn't. Then is getting some Seer Council up. He's actually purchasing them with the Farseer, not using his red to do so. Most likely wants an Eldritch Storm for later if he can, or maybe even drop an Autarch or something to support his Banshees, even though going to lose his Banshees. Ouch. Not sure what happened there. He just stood in the Let the Galaxy Burn from the Chaos Lord, obviously paying attention elsewhere, maybe making decisions about his next purchase. He's gone for the Avatar. Just about to say the Seer Council will support those Banshees passively quite well, but now that's all done with. We've got a Carnifex from JB with Barb Strangler being chased down by the Plague Champion, and double Plague Marines getting shots in here, keeping it snared, as you can see. Well, here comes the rest of JB's army, actually forcing melee combat on the Plague Champion for some reason. Doesn't have a melee weapon, needs to force it on the Plague Marines. There we go. Try and keep them tied up. Some crippling poison action on the Chaos Lord, but there's a lot of stuff now shooting at the Ravener Alpha. There's Let the Galaxy Burn, and ouch, and Imperial Abyss. Wow, instantly lost about 12 models there, I think, but does get away without a squad loss. Red team are kept at bay with that though. There's a Webway Gate top, 211, 260. He might want to get a Webway Gate bottom somewhere then. I'm sure he'd like to, but he needs line of sight down there first. Could use fast sight to get it, of course. Global ability of the Farseer. What have we got? We've got an Avatar from Ven. Super unit for Eldar. Powerful in combat and grants passive support buffs. Will be buffing those Seer counts. So you see those blue swirly effects below their feet. That is the passive buff, and it will affect your allies even if they're not Eldar. 211, 239. That shrine is still spitting things out. We have a Nurgle shrine mid, actually quite far up. That will support allies by healing them and allowing them to reinforce if you worship it, and as you can see he is worshipping it there. Will also suppress enemies that get close. Red team pushing bottom with everything they've got, trying to split the enemy forces, whittle down one of them, and then you can go on the other. Iron Warrior happy to fight too, it seems, for now in a way. trying to shoot up the Seer Council, but Seer Council leaping into combat. These guys have power melee weapons and 500 hit points each, though it's only regular infantry armor. It's still pretty damn good. Levitation field into a Wailing Doom. Didn't quite work out how he wanted to, but kept those things disabled for a while. Avatar going to town here. Really is leading a line for the red team, and that Barb Strangler could be very nasty, because I think all of the Chaos Space Marines here are in their default ranged form, sitting ducks basically for this, what is essentially a giant suppressing plasma cannon. Barb Strangler. Down goes the Farseer. Got too close to all this Chaos stuff. We might see a really nasty Barb Strangler shot. Boom, look at that. All top dropping. Forces off all of this stuff. Can they finish off the heretics? Wailing Doom, nicely done from Ven. That is really nicely done. Did he get a squad? Surely he did it. You see bits of Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, he got one of the CSM. Plague Marines survive. And a Phobos on the way for Iron Warrior. 196, 216. Dandalus capping up the top and bashing power. Autark dropped by Ven will support those Seer Council with her passive buffs. I believe it's a 15% damage resistance. Seer Council set to get changed in the next update. They themselves are going to also grant a damage resistance instead of a suppression resistance, and I believe that resistance will also affect themselves. What is this Avatar up to? Needs to be careful. 193209, because those Plague Marines will snare it. Oh, look at this. Marco's each Chaos Predator. Those twin las cannons chasing down that Carnifex, and Raptors on the Venom Brood. He's going to take it down, I believe. There's the Galaxy Burn, and down goes the Carnifex. There's without number though, spawning some upgraded Termagants and Hormagaunts. He's going to lose those Termagants immediately. Almost did. The Carnifex did go down. JB should get some Doom of Manatai action going, I think. There is a Phobos. And the Predator tank looks like it might survive. This is going to be a really risky chase into base. No, he does turn the Avatar around, trying to chase it down with the Autark, but he's not going to be able to. He's to run away. There we go. Autark with her fusion gun. 123-209. Noxious Cloud forcing off a bunch more Tyranid stuff, allowing the Chaos Lord to decap mid. Maybe. Here comes the Avatar to have a word. Blue team taking a natural south. That is those Noise Marines. Here comes the Phobos. Twin Linked Heavy Bolter on top. Twin Linked Las Cannons on the side sponsons. Incredibly powerful versus large targets, but itself is quite vulnerable and fat and slow. Especially if, well, Ven doesn't have an Eldritch. Yeah, they need some AV. Bright Lance up from Ven. JB has a Venom Brood. And the Avatar, of course, will be able to get in there and smack it around, but other than that, might struggle to deal with that Phobos, especially if the Raptors jump that Venom Brood, or indeed jump the Bright Lance. He's also got the Chaos Lord himself to be worshipped and run in to tie things up. Here come the Tyranids. Maybe not, they're going to wait for their Eldar allies. What is this? Dire Avengers flanking around. Some Khorne worship in base there. 105, 185. Nurgle Shrine is down. What is this though? So Nurgle Shrine that wasn't built. Oh, he must have lost his heretics, or they were forced off. Here they are. Red team probing the middle. I think JB needs to go south and cap. There's the Atlantic Galaxy Burn again. He's done some good work with this. These Termagants getting very close. What are they up to? Misclick there, I think. Ah, he loses them. No, he doesn't. Just about get away. 105, 165. JB doesn't quite have the requisition to get a monstrous creature up, but here's the Raven Alpha building a tunnel to get south quickly and cap it. And that's what they need to do, because look at the mid here. That's Labyrinth of Phobos, Predator tank, Shrines, Worship, Blastmaster there. Lots of stuff there. Raptors are level 3. Plague Marines level 2. Lee's Plague Marines also level 2. There's a lot of stuff mid. Chaos Lord is level 6. Wow. Bright Lance doing good work versus the... In fact, why is it shooting at those Plague Marines? That's strange. No idea what happened there. It should have been prioritising the tank. Don't think it would have got it down though. 95-162. A turret going up here. He still has one covering his power, taking 5 population away from him. You can't scuttle these turrets or salvage whatever. Warp Spider Squad on the field for vent. Some mobility, and those haywire grenades are also very useful against that Phobos. There's a Wailing Doom. Sends the Plague Champion flying, even if he's in retreat. Here comes the Autarch to jump in behind the turret and take it down, but there's an Imperial Abyss global nuke from the Chaos players. Who was it? Most likely Dandalus. Ven actually should not have retreated his Seer Council there. They were out of the middle, could have pushed them forward slightly and been okay. Avatar going to smack on that turret. I would leave it alone because it's just going to free up some population. Oh, was it a las cannon turret? No, it wasn't. Autarch now capping duty. 95-162. Phobos trying to get close for the Dirge Caster maybe. Here's the Avatar. Wailing Doom on it. Will do a lot of damage. Smack. About a third of its health missing now, but nothing really to follow up. Now the Avatar needs to try and get out there. 95-162. Red team with the VP advantage. They've got a lot of units, but JB doesn't really have anything heavy hitting to push mid with, does he? Lost his carnifex and then responded with without number, and has been just reinforcing stuff basically since then. Avatar's going to go down here using Wrath of Cain, but can't quite get it off before it goes down. Red team now looking pretty dire for them, I think. Blue team looking pretty strong. Blastmaster there to knock back this Farseer, stop her from capping. 95-147. Can the red team push back in the mid? Farseer getting very close to enemy stuff, and the Phobos shoots her right in the neck with a las cannon, and she is taken out. Red team doing the right thing and pushing north and south. Blue team a little bit static, but I suppose they feel they are close enough to react to the bottom if they need to. Raptors need to jump out of there. Don't really want to fight a Seer Council. Plague Champion being shot down to pieces, and there is a Noxious Cloud. Plague Champion does go down, but Noxious Cloud able to force off all of the Tyranids. Yeah, JB has been really hurt by that cloud in this game. Warp Spider's forced to retreat out. Might lose the entire squad, and they should get away. 60 hit points, 20, 15, or maybe not. Wow, damage over time from the Plague Marines there, adding up. 95-126. Carnifex on the way. Wraithguard on the way. Can he keep them away from the Raptors and the Chaos Lord and the Plague Champion? Because everything's just reinforcing off this Nurgle Shrine here. Autarch not going to be able to cap. Look how much damage that Blastmaster shot did. Those guys at level 3. She's jumping in to disrupt, but gets into trouble. There's a Toronto formation. That should one-shot the Shrine. There we go. Another good thing about Toronto formations, they will one-shot every single building in the game apart from the HQs. 95-124. Daravid is trying to throw a grenade but couldn't quite manage it. Massive engagement mid. Here come Wraithguard. Those Ravener Brood still kicking. Level 3. 1-to-1 cap. Blue team maybe making a little bit of a meal off this. They're not holding on to the south and capping mid at the same time. Wraithguard being smacked around by a level 9 Chaos Lord with the Blood Maul. Doing a lot of damage there. Chaos Space Marines level 3 with Aspiring Champion, so they do have that slaughter. There's a 2-to-1 for blue team, and it's gonna be tough for red to get back into this. Maybe A really good nuke from Ven could turn it around. He doesn't quite have the red for it. Chaos Terminator is on the field now for Iron Warrior, just to add to all of the stuff Red Team have to fight through. He's gone for... No, he hasn't upgraded his carnifex yet. Don't think he has the... Oh, he does have the wreck. Not sure why he isn't then. The Phobos will do a lot of damage to it. Phobos needs repairs though, really badly. Here are some heretics to do so, but here comes JB from the south. Carnifex is getting thorn back, will give it some extra health. But it's going to take a hell of a lot of damage here from the Phobos and the Plague Marines. And it's in fact backing away. There's a Markers each Predator as well. Look at the damage that Carnifex took. Wow. Tyranids are very, very reliant on their monstrous creatures to push contested areas like that. And if you're prepared for them, this is what can happen. Carnifex does not last long. Doom of Manatine maybe would have been the better choice a little bit earlier on, but hard to say. You still would have had that Phobos to deal with. Doom Manatine not going to really help you with that. Lightning Claws for the Chaos Terminator is 95-84. Blue team with the 2-to-1, and it's going to flip around to a 2-to-1 again, I think. Going to get their naturals back. Bright Lance setting up mid. There's some Wraithguard, but I just don't think they have enough to push. Ven doesn't have any requisition to get some more stuff on the field. The Avatar is doing so well, but he couldn't carry the entire game with it, and it went down. Chaos Space Marines hitting a capillary tower down. Here's another one that they should be shooting, but they're not. 95-70. There's a 2-to-1 for blue team. One last push maybe by red. Wraithguard trying to finish off the Phobos. And if it wasn't for those Raptors, they would have got pretty damn close to it. Raptors now forced off. Wraithguard is still in play. Now shooting. Oh, good grief. Blastmaster got a direct hit. Almost wiped out the remaining Wraithguard there. Plague Champion level 6. Another without number used to drop in Termagants and Hormagaunts. Big engagement at the end here. Chaos Terminators though just going ballistic and wiping stuff out, demoralizing the rest of the things. 95-51. Mid was decapped somehow. It's the Ravener Alpha trying to decap, but JB just lost a hell of a lot of stuff there trying to push right at the end. A desperate push. You tend to lose stuff in your last desperate pushes. 95-51. Yeah, blue team have this sewn up unless something really, really weird happens. Ven does have his nuke. That is their last shot. That is their last hope. His Plague Marines have made it really tough for the Carnifexes to do their job, haven't they? Level 4 Plague Marines. Even if there wasn't the Phobos and the Markers each Predator tank, those Plague Marines with that snare, really, really annoying for Carnifexes. 95-36, but you can't repair them in the field like other things with the vehicle armor. 2-to-1. Noxious Cloud on a Farseer is not going to stop her capping, and she gets a decap. Blue team really have not bothered going after the north all that much. There's another Abyss. All of them on JB, I think. That's the third one we've seen dropped on his army. Really unlucky getting hit with those nukes. That Seer Council got away, running through the middle of it, really. 95-31. Six clouds on JB apparently from his chat. I haven't seen 6. I think I saw 3 or 4 of them. 95-31. Yeah, I think even a perfect nuke taking out the Phobos and maybe another squad would not do it for the red team right here. Gonna be the 2-to-1, and that's most likely going to be the game for the blue team. Leave your Chaos Lord down there and babysit, because look, there's a Ravener tunnel. 95-24. They're not learning from their mistakes, are they? They keep capping south and just taking everything back to the middle. Oh, they're trying to decap top now. Eldritch Storm just wiped out the Raptors, yes, I think. Look at the float from Dandalus. 1300 rec, almost 800 power. 95-11. Again the 1-to-1 cap because they weren't watching the south. And I think this game was decided by abilities on JB's army. He got hit by that Blight Grenade. Then he got hit by several nukes and noxious clouds, which really damaged his economy and his army. And I mean, he's Tyranids, but even Tyranids can't really recover from that amount of losses. He just got really targeted by all that stuff. 95-11, there's the 2-to-1. Wraithguard doing their thing. There's a Gravity Blade to disable those Terminators. He's actually trying to decap with the Wraithguard now. Did he use a Noxious Cloud? He shouldn't have. There's the game in a way. 95-0 at the end. Level 7 Plague Champion. Level 10 Chaos Lord? Yes, a level 10 Chaos Lord had Demonic Visage. Also, Ravener Alpha, almost level 4, had Regenerate, Synapse Aura for damage, and Corrosive Devourer, and a Farseer level 5 with that Gravity Blade. There you have it, guys. JB getting hit really hard with Globals and that Blight Grenade. And blue team take it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.